Hi everybody, it's Top Fun Guy here. This is a bit of a departure from my usual videos, which are about old boats. And this video is about my new old car, which is a 1952 Ford Prefect, made in England. They were made from, I think, 1938 up until the war, when they stopped production, and then they started up again after the war until 1953. So this is a 1952. It's a little four-door sedan with a very small engine. It's 1.17 liters. So it's only got 23,000 miles on it, and there's absolutely no rust underneath, and it's obviously been repainted, but I think the interior is original. It looks pretty amazing for a car that's, more than, or almost 75 years old. It's got a Bakelite dashboard, and all the interior trim is Bakelite, which is the material that was used for things prior to plastics. It would be used a lot in old radios and insulators. Very neat stuff. Kind of looks a bit Art Deco to me. Very simple car. No heater, no fan, no turns. Well, it does have the thing on the steering wheel is for the semaphore trafficators, which I'll show you what those are. Those are the things inside the doors here that these I'll show you on this side. Yeah, so these flip out to indicate. Oh, come on. There we go. These flip out to indicate when you're turning. This car has a very simple engine. Almost nothing to it. This one has a water pump right there. A lot of them don't. They just have the the coolant just circulates through convection through the top of the radiator, through the engine. That's the generator right there. It's a 6-volt generator. So it's got a 6-volt battery with positive earth or positive ground. The only wires going to the engine there are 2 wires going to the generator and 1 wire going to the ignition coil. So extremely simple. So if you got an electrical problem, you don't have far to search. There's a little carburetor, exhaust manifold, air cleaner, which is got a bunch of oil in the bottom of it to trap any dust and impurities. So this car is in an amazing condition for a car of its age. I don't think it's spent much time outside. I think it was probably garage kept most of its life. Maybe someone had it and it died at an early age and then sat in a garage, and then someone resurrected it after many decades. But when I got it, it had been sitting for a while. The fellow had 10 other cars, classic cars, and so he drove it occasionally. But yeah, I wasn't sure I would make it home all the way from just north of Courtenay on Vancouver Island to Nanaimo. I drove along the old Island Highway where the speed limit is, varies, but it's up to 80 kilometers an hour. And this car has got a 3-speed standard transmission, no synchro in first. I've got a synchro in second. And they say the top speed is 60 miles an hour, but I think 45 is a reasonable cruising speed. So I took it easy coming home. Wasn't sure if I'd make it all the way. I actually considered getting it towed from there, but it would have been, almost $800. It's got quite a bad oil leak. on the side of the engine where the fuel pump bolts to the engine. So rather than deal with it at this fellow's house, I just thought I'd bring a bunch of extra oil with me. And I did make it almost all the way home. I made it probably about 5 miles away, or yeah, I made it to about almost 5 miles away, and then the thing just died, which is fine. I, didn't let that upset me, so I called the tow truck, got it home, and then when I got it home, checked for spark. There was no spark. That's the first thing you do with an engine, you check for spark, and then you check for fuel. Check for spark, no spark. So I took off the distributor cap. I was gonna check the points gap, turn the engine over, and I noticed the points weren't even opening. And then I realized that part of the breaker points, the plastic piece that goes up against the cam and opens when each piston hits just before top dead center, that had broken off. So fortunately I had another set in a big pile of rusty parts that the fellow had supplied with me, and I cleaned those up and put them in, and back in business. The car runs fine. So a bunch of tinkering to do, all fun little things, and there we go. This is my new project. A little different than old boats, but I still like old boats. This is just something to do over the winter.